Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Khoto Ditebe, a student at the institution of Johannesburg. Today I'll be presenting a paper on the success factors for effectively implementing lean practices in the construction industry. This is a case of Northwest Province, which is located in South Africa. This is an ongoing study on the success factors for implementing lean. So part of the data that was collected will be presented in this presentation. I'll cover the following during my presentation: the introduction, lean practices in the construction industry, methodology, discussion of findings, as well as conclusion and recommendations. Lean in the construction industry has been widely reported on, and this study seeks to basically consolidate the success factors that could be used in implementing lean in the construction industry, with the vision of actually developing a framework that speaks to that objective. So the reason for this is that we know that the construction industry is and continues to struggle with the productivity in terms of waste generated, environmental issues, and lack of improvement during the construction processes. Hence, the need to actually try and accelerate the implementation of lean practices in the industry. What lean does is it creates value for customers with less wastage incurred while optimizing the resources at hand. So, amongst the key practices or principles of lean is eliminating waste, improving quality, and communication as well, while at the same time creating knowledge and optimizing resources. So, in the industry, what this can actually help us with is improving communication within or between stakeholders involved, reducing wastage during our construction phase, and using data to actually create a predictable process that we can actually employ in the industry. So, amongst the key scholars that have written on this is Aslam, as well as Kawish and Ballard and Kim, which they spoke or written about these success factors. But we've seen that no consensus has actually been reached on what are the key success factors for actually implementing lean. So this preliminary study or preliminary results of this study actually tries to consolidate those key success factors that can actually be considered for successfully implementing lean in the construction industry. So amongst these key is motivation for this. We need a motivation for why you do what you do, and for this section, why we need lean in the industry is for sustainable construction, project performance, which performance will speak to your scheduling, cost and quality, safety, and the productivity of the project itself. The more the firm improves its operations and productivity, the more image of the firm is improved, which speaks to the reputation of the firm. Role of management is also key, which speaks to how they manage conflict in a project, and how do they try to keep stakeholders engaged throughout the project process, and obviously trying different channels of communication for the sake of the project. Amongst these is also involving employees and empowering them during the project process. This speaks to your Kaizen approach, a working culture, and also trying to provide training for your employees to actually understand what needs to be done when it comes to lean. Other key success factors speaks to collaboration, partnering, and this now dwells deep into how do you develop and nurture your relationships. These will be relationships between your stakeholders. How do you bring in partners or stakeholders early in the environment? This will be probably your end users. How do you try to involve them as early as possible, and what is the process to be followed? Lean techniques and construction processes a very key also success factor in actually implementing lean. This speaks to the organizational culture. How do you align lean philosophy to the current organizational culture or construction processes that are already in hand? A methodology that was used on the philosophical consideration is a positivism approach, which now led us to the quantitative approach, which meant that we would use a structured questionnaire that had two sections, the background section as well as the section that speaks to the success factors. Our research area for this study was the Gauteng province in South Africa, while we chose the city of Johannesburg as our sample frame. The participants for this study were your construction professionals. This will include your quantity surveyors as well as your project managers. A convenient sampling method was selected due to time and resources available to the researcher, and as this was also a preliminary stage or phase of the study, it was important to get the results as quick as possible with less resources. Hence, convenient sampling was used. 100 questionnaires were distributed, while 72 was retained. So as we can see from the findings that compatibility and suitability of lean techniques to various organizations was high on the rankings. This speaks to your compatibility of your lean techniques as well as your construction processes. Your commitment to lean culture, is the organization willing to change from one culture to the next, was also key. Availability of resources was also key, which came in third in terms of the ranking system that was adopted. The last three success factors, which were least important according to the respondents, was top management leadership, effective communication and engagement, as well as lean consultant support, which now this disagrees with the reviewed literature, which actually highlighted top management leadership as one of the key success factors in actually succeeding with implementing lean practices in the construction industry. As to conclude and recommend, the objective of the study was met, which was to assess and rank success factors of effectively implementing lean. From the results, compatibility and suitability, as we've seen, of lean practices, commitment to lean culture, and availability of resources was ranked as the top three success factors important for effectively implementing lean. Right? More than anything, it is key that top management places focus on verifying the implementation of lean practices in the existing construction processes before they can be integrated. The verification and suitability of processes must further ensure that organizations do not waste or spend resources on adventures that are not going to produce desirable outcomes. More so, raising awareness in relation to adopting lean culture in the construction firms was not enough, but that top management needed to advocate and commit to eradicating forces that resist change and commit to new and innovative ways of eliminating waste, reducing construction processes, soliciting customer feedback, and extending employee autonomy was critical. Top management, leadership, and commitment, effective communication and engagement, and lean consultant support were least important according to the ranking system adopted. These results can be used as a foundation for future studies that aim to establish the level of effectiveness of factors in the implementation of lean practices and whether there is a link between the established association and the performance of the construction project. That will be the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.